complex characters are really cool, don't get me wrong. They've often got cool mix-ups, combos, things you can go into the lab and really master. You can play Menat's V-Trigger 2 all day in training mode and do combos and have a great time. But there's a beauty to simple characters that I think is very understated and underappreciated by new players. Now, if you're thinking based on play rate and that little graph that CFN puts out every single month, you might say, but Ken and Ryu are always at the top, and Luke's even up there too sometimes. But what I think happens is people log on, they're told by their friends to play Ryu or to play Ken to learn the game. Maybe they play a few games and they say, this guy's kind of boring. Why would I play this guy when I can play Akuma? He's over there doing demon flips. He's doing little raging demons. He's got all kinds of stuff. I'm going to go play that guy instead. And good for you. Pick a character you think is fun, not who everybody else is telling you to play. It's going to keep you attached to the game. It's going to keep you playing the game and improving in the long term. For me, the more I learned about the game and the more I learned about neutral and footsies and how you actually play this thing, I started to gravitate towards simpler and simpler characters. But to really show you why, we need to hop in the game. Hold on, before we get into all the cool stuff, if you enjoy this video or you like any of the ones you've seen on the channel in the past, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching. Chun-Li's not the hardest character in the game, but she's not the simplest because she has so many different options for so many different situations and often lacks options for certain situations that characters like Cammy can just cover with, DP. She has no one-size-fits-all anti-air. She has back heavy kick for close jump in. She has stand heavy kick for far ones. She has back heavy punch to stop things like Cammy's dive kick. And she even has EX spinning bird kick, which is pretty situational in itself. So when folk players start doing things like this, where they're doing forward jump ins and then they start doing this little dive kick, you have to make a conscious decision of which anti-air do I need to use? Do I need to delay it, right? If I need to do back heavy kick, do I need to delay it? What needs to happen here in order for me to hit this folk player? And very close, you can see it works pretty well. But when you get to about this range, it can start whiffing. And then if she comes down with a button, you'll get hit. And then you realize, I need to use stand heavy kick from this range because he's a little bit further out. And you have to make that distinction. And it can be kind of hard to do on the fly when there's so many other things going on in your head. When on the other side of the spectrum, if we set Falk to do the same exact thing, but on Cammy, all I have to do is say, hey, he's in the air, I'm going to DP. That's it. There's no distinction to be made. There's no switching anti-airs. It's, oh, hey, he's in the air, I'm going to DP. Doesn't matter. This is the appeal of playing these kind of characters. They're simple, but they're very effective at what they do because you'll start to learn once you figure out more and more things about the game and how it's played, your mind will need to think about so many different things. You'll have to think about spacing and whiff punishing and all this different stuff that you won't always make that distinction of switching from back heavy kick to stand heavy kick to anti-air on Chun. And speaking of whiff punishing, let me show you something. If I know Zangief is going to whiff this stand heavy punch, all I need to do is press my stand heavy punch into spiral arrow on Cammy. If I'm playing Chun, there's a number of different things you can do. You can do crouch heavy punch into his Zanshu, into that whole big combo that we learned in the previous video. You can do stand medium punch into crouch medium kick, or you can just do crouch medium kick, but it's very spacing dependent and very range dependent, and you're not always going to be able to think about that on the fly, especially if your mental stack is not compressed enough to deal with it. And this video is not here to convince you of anything. I'm not telling you to go play Ryu, go play Cammy, go play a simpler character. I'm just saying this is why some people play these characters, right? They might not have the most crazy mix-ups and they might seem simple on the surface, but they're fun in a different way. And I just want to highlight that a little bit. That's kind of why you see me play multiple characters, because I do like playing Cammy, but I also like playing Chun. She's a little bit more complex. It gets your brain turning in a different way. It gets you thinking about things in a different way. And I think that's healthy when it comes to improving as like a well-rounded player, becoming a well-rounded player. But having a character like Cammy who has a small toolkit that can deal with a lot of different problems is a very valuable thing to have and a very fun thing to play, to be honest with you. It's why before she was nerfed, before they took down her health and they made her buttons have a little bit more recovery to make them more whiff punishable, she was considered one of the best characters in the game because she has tools to deal with everything. Her worst matchup was probably like 5-5, and it was probably like Abigail because he can one-touch her or something. Like that's the only reason why that matchup was even bad. And now it's probably a little bit worse because of nerfs, of course, but she's still a very solid character and a very fun character. I think I'm gonna let you guys go for today. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, don't tell me about it. Keep it to yourself. You're gonna hurt my feelings. I'll talk to you guys again very soon.